on Claudine, you got Nicole's at Bus. How you say her name?
Nicole Bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So throughout the history of the Wu, they've had, especially with female singers, with Takitha, Blue Raspberry, different people. Why do you think that the Wu sound, and with Claudine in particular, the female vocalists work so well with what you guys do?
Oh, because we just love soul. We like all of us have a we all have a passion for music, of course. We also have a love for music. Like we'll sit there amongst each other, debate about who's the greatest at this and who's the greatest at that, or who's your favorite, top favorite female vocalist or male vocalist. I mean, we just love the sound of like real singing soulful. It's just something that hits home. So Nicole Bus is one of them voices that hit home. Blue Raspberry, she has one of them voices, and even like on my album now, Black Samson, I have this guy Sean Monday on it. He's like his voice is like incredible. Like he has one of them real strong raspy voices, and I love those voices, like a David Ruffin, Teddy Pendergrass type voice. It's just, if I could sing, I wish I had one of them voices. I can't sing. I try my best, but nah. If I could sing, I want one of them voices. So since I can't have it, I want to incorporate it in my music, me
Right.
personally, because I think, like, listen to this. This ain't, people always have people singing in their music, but it's just something when you really have like that a voice, like powerful, and it's just a difference. It makes a world of difference.
I would agree. I would agree, which is why I'm glad I remember to ask you that. Now, taking it back, I remember one of the first times I remember, if not the first time I remember seeing your production, I think was on the Divine 12-inch with the Mother Knew and Prayer for Dying. Is that
Wait. Was that the jungle joint?
it was the Mother Knew and Prayer for the Dying. It was
What year was that?
like 96.
Was that a record that was not in the US?
Well, I only saw it in the US. That's how I got it. But it
Who's
was
the artist?
Adon Production, Divine, D space Vine. And
Okay.
but it's A mathematics. So I assume that was you, of course. But uh, anyway,
Well, I know the first joint I ever did. It was a remix for a jungle record, actually.
okay,
So if that's not it, then that's not me.
okay. Well, then
But
maybe strange and wondrous. But
yeah,
it
and I have the record. I have it downstairs in my studio. I would have to find it, but I have that record.
okay,
Um, and that was the first record that I ever produced on.
that got released.
Then I got released.
Okay, so then that sometimes you're A mathematics, a lot of mathematics, mathematics. Why the different uh, permeations of the name throughout the years?
Um, I guess that's just how, like, when they send in the paperwork, they put it in. So I make sure when it came down to like my ASCAP and not ASCAP, my ASCAP, BMI and all my publishing, that all those names reflected me. you know,
Okay,
because sometimes they put a lot of mathematics, sometimes they put a mathematics, sometimes they just put mathematics. It might be my government name, but it might be like R. Dot Bean, or it might have my full first name and last name. It's just, I guess, it's the way they put it in. Um, yeah, yeah. There's no particular reason behind that.
okay.
To me, it's all me anyway.
That's
So
what matters. So
yeah,
then with because you also did on the NFL Jams, The Fast Life with Ghost and
yep,
Andre Rison, right?
yep.
So with that, in taking it back, because this is early on in your, I guess, people knowing your name part of your career, what, and in 96 is a very different era than what we have now, where I remember on the one hand, people really like those type of things. On the other hand, some people were saying, "Oh, that's whack," or "sell out," or "These aren't real rappers," or "Why are people like Wu working with these dudes?" For you guys, what made it something that made sense for you to want to do creatively and business wise?
Um, well, for one, it was fun. right? For two, most of us are football fans, we're sport fans. So it was like word. Like I got to meet Andre Rison, I got to meet Ricky Waters when he did the song with Meth. We became friends, we hung out. Remember going to his crib a couple of times, and so it was good. And it also got me to the Super Bowl. So at the end of the day, but look, you can't worry about like I know the WWE did it too or whatever, but it's business at the end of the day. It's music, it's entertainment. It's still all entertainment. Your goal is to go in there and make something that people will still respect when they hear it. And that's what we did. We went in there, we didn't go in there to play around. We went in there and make a record,
Right.
you
Well,
know?
that's the thing that I've often wondered about people, like like perception of what people should or shouldn't do. First of all, it's not you, but then if you just judge things as what they are as opposed to what you think they are or what you think they will be, that's what I've never understood because uh with rap is so much people saying what should or shouldn't be done, but I'm like, well, if it's dope, it's dope. It doesn't matter who it's with or what it's I don't know. I've always been curious about that, which is why in
But
that
some things are straight up whack. I ain't even gonna lie.
of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. But that right there, to me, that was dope. Like I think we created something that was dope. Had a good time doing it. Um, I still remember them studio sessions, and that's crazy because we going back like what 30 years now.
Right.
And if you look at it, if I go back and look through my career, I remember certain things I don't, but I remember that.
So what made it stand out? Just that it was different. It was NFL, Andre Rison, or
All that, all that, and that was the actually the first time I was called to the studio, and I got my beat was picked over, you know,
other
all the
people's.
yeah, over yeah. So it was like I got one, Come on, come on, it's hard. Fourth disciple, true master, RZA coming through with beats,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that so for me, I definitely remember that.
Hmm. And got to shout out Ricky Waters. I got to meet him and hang out with him several times, and he
Good
and his
dude.
wife are super nice. Tiger
Yeah.
Row, shout them out as always. And then as things continue, Wu's getting all these opportunities, but then with the second wave of albums, with the Snuffed Out on Method Man to Cal 2000, I was always intrigued because it was a skit, but it's really a street life song. So, do you
Yeah.
remember why you guys had to label it that way, or was that
No, I had nothing to do with why it was labeled like that or how it was done. I had nothing to do with that. I just remember we was in the studio, and I know Meth loved the beat. We was in the studio working. I remember Street was writing to it. Me and Street was in the studio, and me and him, we was just working, and we got that out. We got it out, and when we got it out, it was like, you know, I think when brothers listen to it, it's like, nah, that's dope like it is right there. They don't need nobody else or nothing else. So yeah,
no,
yeah, it
that
was
one's
yeah,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
yeah, because it was considered a skit, but I always thought that was a dope joint right there.
For sure. And I
Yeah.
just remember as somebody that would clearly read all the credits and all the stuff, I just remember thinking like, why is this a skit, man? It's just a song. But then I was like, maybe they did that because Mess not on it or because it's not a I don't know. I was just always
Yeah,
curious.
but maybe because of the length too, sometimes because
It
I
was
think
short.
certain things I think if it was under I forget the guidelines. It might have been under 2 minutes or something like that. Wasn't really considered a complete song or something like that. Nowadays, you can make a record 1 minute and 53 seconds, and it's a song. But it was different, I think. So I think that might be one of the reasons why. Um, yeah, because if you look at it, I mean, Bible is a song on Jizza album.
Liquid
And
Swords.
just for just for Killer Priest on it. But that
Yeah.
got three verses at the end of the day.
That's a real song.
Yeah, four
Or
hooks, three
a longer
verses.
song.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Longest song. Yeah.
because just taking it back, the best-selling group of all time in music, the Beatles, they got songs that are 2 minutes long or 2 minutes 20 seconds back in the day. So I mean, it's been going on for
Yeah.
long before we were making and listening to music.